Uh, Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So today, inshallah, let us try to understand something about one of the surahs, one of the short surahs of the Holy Quran, which we might be reciting in very frequently in our prayers and on Surah Asr. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. So in a hadith that is reported by Tabrani, it states that when two of the Prophet's companions met and when they separated, they would shake their hands by saying salam, and when they leave, they would recite this surah. They would recite the verse of the surah to each other. So Imam Shafi Rahmatullahi has rightly said that if people only considered this surah well, reflected on this and acted upon this, and this would be alone suffice for his guidance. So let us try to understand what this surah is. What is the meaning of this surah, inshallah? So I have a very few minutes, inshallah. So let me try to explain or in a very brief words, inshallah. So the meaning of it can be, meaning of this surah is something like this. Verily by time, man is surely in loss, except for those who have believed, who have iman, and have done righteous deeds, and advised each other to truth, and advised each other with patience. So this surah wants the entire humanity, an individual or group or a community or a nation. It says that the entire humanity, be an individual, a group, a community, or a nation, if they do not acquire these four qualities, which has been mentioned in the surah, they will be in loss. So in other words, we can say if a society, a community, an individual has to be successful, it has to acquire these four qualities. So let us try to understand each ayah by ayah, each verse by verse. Well, as innal insana lafi khusr. What's the meaning of this? Allah swears by time. So there are many interpretations about this time. So, and one of the interpretation of time is the time which has been passed. In a single word, we can say it as history. So what is history? So history is the study of the past, right? Especially it is a study of the people, the societies, events, and problems of the past. So Allah is swearing by time, which means Allah is swearing by history. So Allah is asking us to look into the history and to analyze the people, to analyze the events, analyze the societies which lived before us. So if you look into that, you can see in one side, in the right side, we can see Ibrahim alayhi salam, Musa alayhi salam, Muhammad Rasul sallallahu alayhi salam, and in the left you see Fir'aun, Haman, Karun, Namrud, etc. Right? And Quran also speaks about the great civilization of Ad and Samud, right? So Allah asks us to learn from this history about these people and analyze it and try to understand what was the reason for their failure and what was the reason for their success. So to give a pictorial representation, let us equate a person or a society or a community with a big house, a building. So we know that a building contains three parts, right? So it has the base, the foundation, and the second, it has the walls around it, and we have a roof. So a strong and a beautiful community means it should have it should be so we can equate a strong and a beautiful community to a very beautiful house. Okay, so let us start that. So so let us see like how this surah asks us to build a very beautiful community now. So the first part is Illadina Amanu. The first quality is Illadina Amanu. So Allah says, Allah mentions the quality of Iman, the belief. So this can be equated with the base or the foundation of the building. So what is the meaning of what does Iman or Mu'min mean? So a person who believes in Allah means a person who recognizes Allah as his creator, sustainer, master of himself, and also the master of the entire universe. That's a person who is a believer. So a believer believes that Allah has created him. He just not only created him and asked him to find out the right path, but Allah has given him the guidance too. So he's not confused as about his guidance. So a believer is able to tailor or change his entire action and life based on the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he is well aware that he'll be judged with justice on the day of judgment. And a believer, a person with Iman, is the one who loves Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he knows that Allah is the one who loves and takes care of himself. So a person who believes that Allah loves him, Allah protects him, so he's not afraid of anyone in this world because he's in the protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So a believer is a person who have the right knowledge of the guidance of himself, and he is sure that he's been protected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So consider about a person who is such person. So he'll be fearless in this world. He'll be in a peace of tranquility in this world. So Iman is derived from the word Amn, which means tranquility and fearlessness. So in conclusion, when a person becomes a mu'min, he's a person who is fearless and he's at peace and tranquility. So okay, so we mentioned about the first quality, right? So the first quality that is a person or a community, a society needs to be successful is the quality of Iman. So that can be equated with the base of the building. So if the building has to be strong, it should have a strong base. So if the community has to be strong, the first thing, it should have the strong Iman. So what is the next quality? So the next quality is the Amalus Salihats. So we can define, so it can be defined as Iman in action. What does Amalus Salihat means? It is faith in action. So as a Muslim, we have a responsibility towards our Creator. So we have responsibility towards Allah. So what is the responsibility towards Allah? Is to worship Him, right? So we have our responsibility towards the other human beings, our parents, children, kids, our neighbors, etc., right? So we have a responsibility towards the other living beings around us. We have the responsibility towards environment. So when we discharge our duties in the right way, which Allah has prescribed to us, towards all the responsibility, towards all the things that around us, then our actions becomes Amalus Salihats. So what is Amalus Salihat? Amalus Salihat is the action based upon our Iman, right? Iman in action. So when we discharge all our responsibility towards Allah, towards the fellow human beings, towards the environments, towards everyone, then that becomes Amalus Salihat. And Amalus Salihat we can equate to the four walls of the building. So when we have the beautiful Amalus Salihat, that means that the four walls of the building is very beautiful. So the Amalus Salihat beautifies you, us, and our community, right? So it's something like a very beautiful paint in our building, a beautiful marble stones which has been kept in our building, right? So let us look into the third and fourth qualities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. So they are those who they are those who encourages each other with the truth as well as sabr. So what is truth? So the ultimate truth is Islam, right? So when someone encourage each other with truth means they strive to take the message of Islam to the people so that the entire society, our neighbors, everyone becomes successful in this life and the hereafter. So so watawasaw bil haq, it not only mean that we encourage each other with the teachings of Islam, it also mean about non-religious matters. So encouraging with truth, it means if someone comes to us for a guidance, maybe for a career guidance or an education or a counseling, and if you are willing to give a good advice, that becomes watwasaw bil haq. So a community where there are people who are always helping each other. Someone comes to you, you help each other as an individual, as a community, you help each other, right? If there is a problem in the community, you help each other. And what was sabr? What does it mean? You encourage each other with sabr, patience. So if someone is afflicted with some calamities, so you go and uh, you advise, encourage with patience, right? You support them, you comfort them. So this is the four. So something this can be equated with the roof of this building, right? So that is it. This watwa sabir hak and watwa sabir, it protects the house. So imagine a community like this where we have the people with strong iman, and we have the people with all the good qualities, and they support each other, right? When they have issues when they have problems, when they have any they need advices, they advise each other, they protect each other, they help each other. Consider about a society something like this. Can this society ever fail? Can anyone defeat this society? No, never, right? Every time this society, this community will be successful. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to us to be like this society, like this community, as an individual, as a group, as a community. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to understand these ayahs and implement in our life and create a very beautiful individual society, community, and so that inshallah we'll be successful in this world and hereafter, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, jazakallah khair.